take 1,072,000,000. We're going to try this again. We have a stack of comics that I'm trying to review. I've been trying to review these for a week now. It's not going well at all, obviously, as you can see. The first few recordings were way better than this one will probably be. But I'm trying my damnedest to get this done for you. So hopefully we can get through this. We're starting out with Barbaric. Wrong kind of righteous. Pretty soon I can read all these by memory. But let's give it another shot. This is the tale of Sir Boris, the righteous paladin and his trusty talking flail, as he enlists the help of Owen, Axe, and Soren on his noble path. There will be virtuous bloodshed. There will be wailing protest. There will be 2 talking weapons. And there will be wyvern burgers served for better or worse with pickles. This is done by Nicholas Ames, Michael Morrissey, Addison Duke, Nathan Gooden, and Jim Campbell by Vault Comics. We have a new character here. First off, Owen's just trying to get a nice wyvern burgers with the right toppings, no pickles, and they keep screwing that up, and this poor guy's starving, and he's just not getting fed because his order's constantly wrong. And while that's happened, we get to meet our new character with his flail, his talking flail, to be a new companion piece to go along with our Axe character. The flail is hilarious. He does not like things that are happening. This new character is taking advantage of Owen in ways that I don't like that's happening. But it's a good, complete story for you to check out. A nice little one-shot, nice and thick. So you get a little bit of back history, mostly new character history, and new character building materials in here. But yeah, I'm hoping we get to go further with this, and keep it on the nice fun path that it's been so far. We've had a great run with the girls going off, doing their little adventures, and now I think they're going to be coming and crossing back over with Owen and Soren, and hopefully we'll get the gang all back together. Can't remember what happened to our vampire friend, where he disappeared too, but we will definitely keep an eye on everything to come for that. And then we have another BRZRKR one shot that came out, Fallen Empire by Keanu Reeves, Mattson Tomlin, Rebecca Isaacs, and Dee Knief. In here, we kind of get a story of a lady that's from a clan that has not survived. Our character's been battling away and being recognized by certain power-hungry entities and trying to be used by these entities to do their bidding. And while this is going on, we have a character that's gone through some stuff, lost her whole clan, and she's trying to get history of her clan written in the books by the monks or whoever controls the records. And while that's happening, we're getting backstory and history of our character and how he has a connection with that clan. And this was a more enjoyable story than the last one. The last one was a little too fantasy blown out of proportion type style storyline compared to the original BRZRKR storyline. I didn't like how fakeish it was going. This one gives you more of a history of some periods of time, and that's more what I'd like to see for future issues. But hey, it was a good story. Nice little one shot that they had. Now we got Archie Comics. We got Darkling. Queen of Shadows. Embrace the darkness, discover the truth. Darla Lang is a young woman with a secret and a mission. Mysterious and reserved, Darla Lang is often viewed by her peers as eccentric and slightly creepy. That's due in large part to the peculiar luminous black cloak she wears everywhere. What people don't know is that Darla's cloak is actually a mystical artifact that she can use as a melee weapon. Trapping her enemies inside and teleporting them away, Darla's power and connection to the supernatural world have always been a curse, and now she's enrolled in Ivy Hollow University, which harbors some dark secrets of its own. Will Darla find within its hallowed halls the answers to the questions about herself and her powers that she's been seeking? This has the talents of Sarah Kuhn, Carola Borelli, Ellie Wright, and Jack Morelli. This is a fun story. I'm not big on the witchcraft and stuff, but I like how this story twists and turns. We have a character that's kind of introduced in with our witch character, and they work out really nicely together. So I'd like to see more of this team up in the future. And it's kind of like, is this girl really okay with all the mystical arts and everything that's happening around her? Or does she know more than she's letting on, and it's gonna get deeper, the story in the future, because this is a one shot, but it's kind of also a teaser for maybe some more storyline in the future. But yeah, these are a blast. I love these Archie comics. And this one wasn't an Archie horror or anything. This was just a regular Archie comics one. Uh, Archie horror ones are usually a little more fun, but yeah, considering it's got witchcraft and stuff in it, I was pleasantly happy. I liked it. It was fun. All right, I gave these guys another shot. I got Everything Sucks, Friends Forever. Friends Forever. It's last call, and Noah miraculously has an after-hours date lined up with a cutie. But first, he's got to make a pit stop in the bathroom. And weirdly, so do his friends. When disaster strikes and the door gets stuck, can our heroes escape with their lives? Blood, beer, and sewage soaked chaos ensues. I am sorry if you're hearing the laundry running at all. I am doing laundry in the background. I wasn't thinking about it when I started recording. I should have shut it off. But these are nice, thick comics. But the stories aren't really grabby. I mean, you got your characters. They're interesting characters that you want to know more about. And you do get some history of them in here, who's who, who's friends with whom. But our character, gentleman there, just so happens to get an opportunity to go on a date with someone. And he goes in the bathroom to get himself cleaned up, ready to go. And when he does, other people happen to come in the bathroom while he's in there. And eventually, the last person that comes in, the door gets stuck behind them. So they all get locked in the bathroom, ends up having water issues, all kinds of things that happen, shenanigans that cause them problems along the way. But yeah, it's the second one. I expected more from the first one. I expected less from this one because of the first one, but yet I want more. So yeah, they kind of leave you wishing there was a little bit extra to them, but it was worth a shot. I had to give him two chances. Don't know. I may or may not give him a third, depending on what the next story is about. We'll see. This one I can't show much of, but we got Flesh Eating Cheerleaders Holiday Special. Santa Claus down there running away. But in this story, It's basically, if you know anything about our flesh-eating cheerleader storyline, our characters find a way to manipulate Santa and take advantage of Santa Claus and his abilities. And I can't really give much more away. It's very simplistic conceptualization on this. It's done by James Musquet, David Dion, Manju Stone, James Mackay. And there's a few different covers out there. But yeah, I can't show you anything from the inside because I'll be thumbing through page after page after page trying to find something that doesn't have nudity in it. So, but yeah, I said I was done with the ongoing. I figured I'd give any one shots a chance. This I liked better than the ongoing, but overall it was also a little light-handed. I was wanting more. Left with wanting to see more of what was going to happen. Now we got Geiger Ground Zero, Geoff Johns, Gary Frank, and Brad Anderson. This is bouncing off the ghost machine and stuff. Tariq Geiger vowed to kill everyone who threatened his family. He just didn't realize how many people that would be. Geiger Ground Zero, Chapter 1, From Monster to Man and Back Again. This was a nice history lesson. It gives you basically a prequel to what happened prior to everything that we know from the Geiger universe. And I like that there's a nice little uh, additions in here from Junkyard Joe, and we get our timeline again in the back of this book. But this takes us pre-blast into the blast and teaches us some things along the way. We get the Junkyard Joe comic in there and stuff. And yeah, I liked what I learned from this. This is a really well done added piece to the story. So this is a one that I am very happy with sticking with. I can't remember the name of the compilation. Is it the Ghost Machine now? The one where they threw everybody to, yeah, the Ghost Machine storyline. And we're gonna be getting a bunch of our different characters next month. It looks like should be out on sale January 24th, and that's gonna have a nice little compilation of our characters from the different realms, from the different storylines, and kind of cross them in together. So that will be a blast. I will stick with Geiger as long as they keep putting those out. All right, Grimm Fairy Tales. They had the 2023 Armed Forces edition out this year. They do these every now and then, and they also like do their holiday pinup ones and stuff. But this was nice. You get your pinup style pictures in the back half the book, but you also get a fun little story in the beginning. And the story kind of took a fun twist with a battle between Robin Hood, a Robin Hood character, and an interesting beast he gets to deal with, and the twist and turn she does to take care of him and where he came from and what's going on. But it's a short story. But all these ones with the pinup specials and stuff, all the short stories have been. I mean, I would take this short story over the Everything Sucks book anytime. It's like that's an example of a well written story compared to a thick, long written story that it's like you're trying to give them enough to make them happy, but yet what they really want to be happy is a story that's going to keep them staring at that book, going page to page, all the way to the end, and wanting more when it's done. Not something that's just like, oh, okay, this is fun. All right, we got Zoe Thorogood's Hack and Slash Back to School. Zoe Thorogood's doing a great job with Tim Seeley's creation. She's the creator from It's Lonely at the Center of the Earth, which I have not read that. I've heard about that, but have not read it yet. We also have Sarah Mitriak and the Ludwigs here, and this is still created by Tim Seeley and Stefano Caselli. But yeah, she's doing an awesome job with this storyline. We're getting more of our slasher history in here. We get a nice little slasher story. Our schoolgirls kind of learning some more about their congregation and how that all works. Uh, we do have the interesting things of our Vlad character being kind of set up in a different part of the school system. Uh, and everybody's got their own like character that they work with, or what do they call them? Their oh come on, Harry Potter. Their I don't want to call them pet, familiar. It's like they're familiar. Everybody's got a little interesting creature that they have along the way, but that storyline, all the hack and slash storylines have been fun that I've checked out so far. So no complaints there with that. Oh yeah, Harley Quinn's Black, White, and Red are the final issue. I believe this is only a 5-issue run. I believe this is the final one. These have been a wonderful layout, just like all the other Black, White, and whatevers that have been out there. Uh, we got in this storyline, we have or storylines. You get three nice short stories that are complete. Sometimes they're continuations. Sometimes they're individual stories that are from finish to end or from start to finish. Uh, we got the Harley Spirit from Mathis Lopez, Bill Quiz, Evalee, and Simon Bolin and Chris Conroy. In this story, we get kind of a court jester that's kind of trying to figure out what he is, but yet has that Joker-esque quality to him. So it's also teasing up with the Joker Harley storyline. And we get a little bit of Ivy in this one, dealing with witchcraft and demon summary and stuff. But yeah, it was a fun story. We have Flight by Justin Halpern, Kath Lobo, Wes Abbott, and Matthew Levine. We have our Suicide Squad Task Force X style characters on a plane on their way to a mission. They're trying to basically the guards are testing our characters, irritating them, and that causes all kinds of things to happen on the airlines that put us in a disaster scenario. And you got to see what happens with our characters along the way with all that. And then we got Double Trouble, story and art by Spearmint, letters by Josh Reed, and editor Marquis Draper. This storyline, we have a a Harley Quinn character that's kind of cosplayed and social media'd up, and Harley finds out about it, and this character's got more action on social media than Harley does. The real Harley does. They think she is the real Harley, and you can imagine how Harley Quinn gets when someone else is messing with her identity. So yeah, Yeah, find out what she does, but you can imagine what happens along the way. All right, we got Haunted House, a love story. I know we did this when we had Winston Gambro on the Crimson Color Comic Club podcast. We got a preview of this comic, an early preview, and read it for that. It's also got 3D artist that made the model house, Joshua J. Beck, and color assistant Rob Cloma. Wallpaper designer, Julia Koala. Uh, he did a really interesting thing, which you can hear all about on our Crimson Color Comic Club podcast. He was smart and did what I would do if I had a house or a structure or something that I could get 3D printed up, so I can place it in all different directions for drawing wise. That'd be awesome, so you don't miss any arches or angles or anything like that. That would be the way to go. So he did an awesome thing by doing that, because I believe this is like 6 issues or something like that, 6 or 8. I'm pretty sure 6. But yeah, we get to see a guy who built the house, and once he gets the house built, he's getting sicker and sicker as he's building the house, and the house basically is alive, has its own spirit, and it messes with our characters along the way. He's stuck in the house in the middle of nowhere, has a doctor that comes a long way to see him, and a bunch of things happen between him and the doctor in the house and the doctor's family, and just the cross, the twist, everything that he did in this storyline was wonderful. I like the way he's playing it out. It's going to be interesting how each story unfolds, how it's going to all connect. I'm assuming to the house itself, because our characters might change a little bit here and there throughout the storylines. I'm not sure. I won't know until I get the second issue. I've read the first issue a couple times now, once by digital and once by physical. But yeah, it was actually more enjoyable. It's always more enjoyable with the physical version. I don't know what it is. I'm old school. Oh yeah, Josie and the Pussycats Anniversary Spectacular from Archie Comics. Classic style Josie and the Pussycats makes their return in this all ages comic, featuring a new story from writer and artist Holly G, plus even more exciting stories featuring the talents of Frank Doyle, Tom DeFalco, Dan DeCarlo, Kennedy Bros, Jim Amash, Rudy Lapik, Vince DeCarlo, Glenn Whitmore, Bill Yoshida, and Jack Morelli. I feel like I'm reading off a Saturday Night Live script. But yeah, this is a variety of fun stories. We got our first one, Josie and the Pussycats in Rock Cats. They're jamming out, trying to figure out how they're going to do this rocket out in space thing. They get shot off in a rocket ship to space, and they're going to jam out, and they have problems with their connection, and a little alien character shows up and tries to help them out, and some things happen along the way. And we got Josie and a Jim Dandy, where Josie's just kind of misinterpreting everything that people are doing or coming up to her with, and she just everything she does, there's these little quirky twists where people think they're part of her life, and then she does something to some tomfoolery or whatever to goof everything up. And speaking of tomfoolery, we kind of got a tomfoolery character in this storyline. It's typical Archie fun. We got Pepper Smith in Only the Strong Survive. This is your pretty girl that gets all the attention, and she's got a friend that's trying to get her out into the wilderness to do some things for herself, learn more about life, learn what it's like to do things, and at the same time, boys keep showing up to help her out, of course. Then we got Josie, the Ghostly Guardian, which was a nice old story from the Archie archives. And this was a fun little ghost story about a mansion with that has a hidden uh, dungeon like or crawl space type thing that takes them into a cave, into a dwelling where there might be a pirate's treasure and they're searching for it. Some twists and turns cause them to come across some traps and some issues along the way. But very well done. All right, speaking of our black, white, and red stuff, we got Marvel Zombies issue 2 of Black, White, and Blood. These have been great. It's fun going back into the Marvel Zombie storyline some more after I read all the main story ones, and it's like they keep coming up with more fun twists. But our first story in here is Under the Eye of an Unkind Future by Gail Simone, Dale Eagleshaw, and Yen Nitro. This one we get Mr. Fantastic and the gang just doing their thing, and Mr. Fantastic's going off to try and work on things for this zombie virus. And as he does, you get to see what kinds of things he comes across, what his viral effects do to him, and whether or not he can come up with something to help end this viral issue. Our second story, where are my names again? Here we go. The Last Ballad of Better Ray Bill. We get a nice Better Ray Bill story in here with the Asgardians and a variety of other Marvel characters. And they just, all these stories base themselves around battling with the zombies, who else is going to turn into a zombie, what's going to happen along the way, and who we've lost so far and who we're going to lose in the future. The final story is Warpath by Doug Wagner, Jean Gedian, and Dee Knief. And in this story, this one has our Warpath character kind of collecting these zombies as he goes, as his trophies. And we get to find out what the history of this character has to do with all this, where it's going, who he's trying to get to and finish off before the end of the world, before everything just turns zombie. I mean, it's not gonna. Once you start getting supers that are turning into zombies, do we really have a chance of ever figuring anything out or fixing it? I highly doubt it. We have the Santos Sisters Halloween Special, another nice variety of short stories. This was a blast. This is probably my favorite Santos Sisters storyline so far. We got Frank and Dirk, the story of the one gal's goofy boyfriend, the big lug, and him all Frankensteined up, and get to see what happens with that. And these are all very quick, short stories. We get a Cassie and Vlad in Tricks and Treats, which we get to see our characters out on Halloween being able to be nicely dressed up, enjoying things while they're also finding out about this disgusting character that's showing off stuff. And I can't give it away, but it's a fun twist on one of my favorite characters from this world. We got Junior Duck in Oh Mercy Me, which we kind of get a duck character, a little our Howard Duck style characters that everybody has to play with. But this is more like a bat duck, but this is in a Mercy Sparks story. That was fun. Seeing her pop up in this world. We got a one pager that I can't show because it would ruin things, but a one pager for Gut Ghost. A one page little story or cover, I guess, would be more like it. But yeah, it explains a lot in that picture, though. We have Last Dance, where our one Santos sisters and our big goofy lug happens to come across a hitchhiking ghost that joins them for a ride. We get the Necromancer, which gets we get almost all our characters in this storyline where he's summoning skeletons, raising the dead, and they gotta all deal with what's happening along the way. We get a Bloody Mary story in here. I mean, there's so much goodness in here. This is just the Crimson Kiss, nice little vampire style story. We get a how to draw a comic book section in here. We get our Boozy Bees characters. They have a fun little story in here with a little costume contest. And there's some classified ads. It just so happens to have us advertised in there. And Cartoonist by Night also got an advertisement in there. Oh yeah, Comics has an advertisement in here. Variety of companies I know. Skokie, Illinois. You got your letters pages, you got some fan art, and there's just all kinds of fun stuff in here. Yeah, you get the fake advertising, you get the real advertising. It's like, yeah, I was so happy with that. I'm glad I put an advertisement in that one because that is definitely my favorite Santos Sisters. All right, we get Tales of the Bazaar. This is from Dren Productions. That's their logo. I guess it is a DP logo. But this is One Wrong Step, written by James Musquet, art by Jack Linzes. And then we got A Little Invasion, written by James Musquet and art by David Fott. In this we get kind of like a moon landing story for the first one, and some things that happen all along the way. Our characters have a little commanding issue. Who does what? Who who should be in control, the guy or the girl, and how the guy's a little more controlling than her, and she's kind of like, what's going on? There's stuff happening. There's things falling off our ship, and it's a very interesting entity that we come across that they have to deal with in this story. And then the the Little Invasion is kind of like an offshoot of our original story, but it's more of a mini cartoony style story. In the end, I like this little twist that they did with this, giving us these two different stories. But I can't ruin that one. It's got some fun things in it. Kind of seen that style story before in the past, but they did a wonderful job with the way they went all about it. All right, we got one last one here. We got the Wailing Blade. This is issue number 1. It's a New York Comic Con 2018 exclusive. This is my first introduction to this character. I do have a little synopsis in here, so you might as well check that out. The world of Wailing Blade. A little map. In the shattered ruins of old Earth, after mankind's fall from the stars, a new civilization has risen under the iron heel of the tyrant of Minturn. His rule is absolute, enforced by executioners bearing the last remnants of technology from before the fall. The head taker wields the most infamous of these weapons, the fearsome Wailing Blade. The Wind Cleavers, one of the few bandit clans who continue to defy the tyrant, terrorize the trade routes between Minturn and cities like Draz, scavenging what they can, killing when they must, and never, ever bending the knee to tyranny. This They call it the Wailing Blade because everybody that gets killed or beheaded by it, their screams and cries come blood curdling crying out of the blade every time he wields it. Goes to slice something or whatever. So he's basically an executioner character. You get to see things that are happening between this government and the lowly people, and who's going after who and what's happening because of it. And it's just a very interesting collaboration of different style characters in this fantasy style world that gives me lots of curiosity about this character. I want to know more about the Wailing Blade character. I want to know more about the Executioner program, what's going on with these characters. But yeah, I never heard about this. It came out in 2018 by Comics Tribe. Uh, Janaki, give me the collaborators right off the bat. Okay, we got Rich Duick, Joe Malui, Chris Sadomeyer, Jules Rivera, and Taylor Esposito. But yeah, he's a badass, skull faced, Wailing Blade carrying executioner character. And he doesn't care what side you're on or whatever. If you're lined up for execution, you're lined up for it. It's like you're next in line, it will happen. I am going to end this with a few quick things. Oh, I don't have the one. My wife has it by Anthony from the Crimson Cull Comic Club and Cartoonist by Night. Made a couple bookmarks. Well, I made a variety of bookmarks, but I got myself the Beaker one, and my wife got, if you follow us at all, you've seen the picture before, but his Adventures in a Babysitter style Archie picture that he did. I ordered from our favorite ghost novelist, Brenna Thumler from Sheets. Did a thing where you got a like a high school, grade school lunch tray, and you got to pick the items from a list of items you'd like on that tray drawn, which I thought this is awesome. Anthony introduced this to me, and it's a great, nice little different twist on some artwork. But I picked my items not as if I was at school with the lunch tray. Mine was for more if I was a 6-year old kid back in the days when I grew up. We didn't have TV VCRs, platforms that you can pick what you want to watch. You had to watch what was on when it was on. So you got up, made your breakfast, made your blanket fort or whatever, got all set up with your big bowl of cereal, is what I'd usually do. Then have my blanket fort set up in the living room, and then by 5:30, I'd be up getting all ready. So by 6 o'clock, you got the Woody Woodpecker shows, Laugh Olympics, uh, the uh, oh, what's the goofy yellow big headed characters that Croft shows. Uh, Used to watch all that stuff, and then all the fun cartoons after and stuff on Saturday mornings. It was awesome because you didn't have to go to school, so you just blanket fort it up and munchie out and enjoy yourself for a few hours before your parents were yelling at you to get outside and get the hell out of it. But I picked chocolate pudding. I think it's a blueberry muffin. It could be a chocolate chip muffin. Strawberry milk, a banana, and a peanut butter sandwich. I figure those go together good. It's all munchy style stuff. Banana for a little healthiness. But yeah, I thought that was the perfect cartoon snack. That's what I did with that. I wanted to do unpackings. I tried to do unpackings with all these things, but every time I got interrupted, I had to shut it down and restart it. So now that it's all open, I'm not going to do an unpacking. I figured I'd just throw it all on the end of this. Then Dan Parent from Archie Comics had a deal where you could get a certain comic with a remark drawing on it. But I did the deal, and we got this awesome Sabrina cardboard picture signed. I love the way that looks. It's going to look awesome in the art books. And then we got Dan Parent sketchbook too. I got to get sketchbook going because this just has. I mean, this isn't a sketchbook. This is an art. I mean, it's all complete art. How you can call it a sketchbook, don't know about that. But yeah, it's got some wonderful artwork in here. A couple little sketches, but mostly complete art. And it's just beautiful things that I have some things I haven't seen before that are just I want to know where they came from, find out more, and get those books. But then the main thing we were ordering this for was for Sabrina's Christmas Magic one shot, and it's signed and remarked by Dan Parent. And I got lucky and got Salem remarked on there, so that's just awesome. I'm so happy he did that for me. Because I know a lot of people probably got just Sabrina's head, but I was lucky enough to get Salem. So that made me happy. I figured the wife would like that. So yeah, that was an awesome deal. I can't remember how much it was, what it was, but it was a really good deal, and I'm super happy that I didn't see it. My wife happened to see a post that Anthony again posted. Anthony finds a lot of things that I don't see, and I find a few things he doesn't see, so it works out nicely for the two of us back and forth. But yeah, that's it. We made it through it. I actually got a podcast coming out this week. Oh my god! We should have at least one a day, but at least we got one out in the last 2 weeks. It's sad, but I am working on it. I got a new area set up. I'm going to try a new style that I'm doing with my podcast. I'm also playing more with my editing program, which I don't know if I will with this today or not, but I am playing around with that, see how that goes, see if I'm going to stick with that or if I'm going to try something else out. But January is around the corner. We got some things planned. See what happens. See if we get them going. That's it. So keep following Under the Color of MS. Rate, review, tell a friend, subscribe. Force your friends to like us, check us out, help us out, get us past that 1,000 subscribers mark, so we can sit there finally monetize this thing after 1,000 some episodes. But yeah, we're trying. Keep checking out Crimson Color Comic Club. We got lots of fun things we've been doing on there. We have some creator interviews in the past that were a lot of fun. And we will get back to you again with more stuff soon. My Instagram's kind of been slacking, but I'm trying to get back to drawing again also. See what happens. All right. Bye.